everyone, Uncle Jojo. Great to see you all. Today we're getting our timber frames delivered and our steel. Before we get to that, after we've stripped all of the slab, we need to do a slab set out. One of the most important things of a site establishment, where we pegged all of our hurdles out, we got our string lines, all of those bits and pieces, everything squared up. We then need to transfer all of those boundary lines and all of those building lines onto our slab. So come with me and check it out. Here we've got all of the slab finished off and our lines flicked in. Now we've checked all of our boundary lines. So here's a boundary line across there. The rear is not really that important, but this line here. So this boundary line is on the boundary, and this one has to be right because there's a certain setback from the side. Super important that we get both of those right. Then from there, we need to square off our front line and our rear line, and we do our 3-4-5. I explained a 3-4-5 before, making sure our corners are right, everything's square and parallel. Then we get our parallels, I should say. So then we do our parallel lines and make sure all of our measurements are absolutely Mickey Mouse. Flick out our lines on those. So all of the externals are flicked and everything's square. Then from there, we can start flicking out our internal lines. So here are our internal lines. So there's a walk-in robe. That area there is going to be the ensuite. We've got our laundry here. This is going to be the stairwell through here. Now this is our hydronic heating. That's our manifold for our hydronic heating, and it's underneath the stairwell. This is our secondary toilet for downstairs. Now these beams here with the pink paint in them, that's actually our steel work. So we needed to make sure that we got that steel work right. If you don't get your steel work right, then you're not going to get the rest of the timber work right, especially where we've got cantilevering beams to pick up the second floor. So these measurements are critical. All of the steel beams have actually been cut in certain ways where they can actually socket together with holes in bolts all the way through them. We will even run around and start welding some of those up as well. This is the major bedroom downstairs. It's the only bedroom downstairs. That's where the magic happens. Then this area is going to be the dining room area. That there's going to be the kitchen area. This is the rear porch. Not a very big backyard. It's a bit of a shame. And then this here is going to be the dining room. This steel beam runs through here, and then this here is actually a junction for the two external beams for upstairs. So upstairs comes to these two lines here, and that beam will continue through up to the boundary wall. Again, super important to make sure that all of our lines are parallel with each other so that we can get these junction lines to work, and all of the beam work then sockets together like a really nice, neat puzzle. This here is a pressure gauge, and it's telling us if we've lost any pressure inside the pipe work for the manifold. So we've run all of our hydronic heating through all of the slab area. That pressure gauge there tells us if we've lost pressure and if there was any leaks or anything through it. That hasn't moved now in the last 2 weeks, so 14 days. So we know that our pressure is good, nothing's leaking through it. So we're really happy with that. That's really good news for us for our hydronic heater. If you've got any questions or queries about up to this stage, flick me over an email. Happy to have a look at it for you. If you haven't, thanks for watching. And like always, stay unreal, banana peel, and I'll see you in the soup.